Well, here we are, another episode of Hammered. How's it going, Laura?
Pretty good. Sorry, I literally can't stop yawning. I don't know what my problem is.
No, I mean, your problem's being on the podcast because you yawn during every show. And you do that also as well. So today's podcast, we have Tami Rimkus.
Ericson, yeah.
Tami, you know what? I was going to say Ericson in there, but it's all together. So it's Tami Ericson Rimkus.
Yeah,
right?
Tami Ericson works.
Oh.
Self-explanatory.
Okay.
Understood. Been there. I totally get it.
We're just going to say Tami.
There you go. I like it.
T-E-R, ter.
There you go.
Terra. No. So how are you doing today? Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is my first show coming back off a killer weekend.
Nice.
Spent in Danville, Virginia at the Blue Ridge Rock Fest.
Wow.
You know, it was an experience.
In Asheville, right?
In Danville, Virginia.
Oh, Danville.
Yes. So I would say Danville is I guess it could be like the Asheville of Virginia, except there's like a whole lot less, but it's in kind of like that mountainy kind of section of Virginia.
Yeah.
It was really cute. Like it was, outside of the festival, it was, quiet and very rural, very clean, very cute. So, and then we get into Blue Ridge and it's like fucking chaos. It's madness. It's insanity, but it was a really good time. That's probably why I'm still like exhausted.
Yeah.
Because we got back yesterday right around the afternoon and it was just like cleaning up and getting ready for the week after that.
Yeah, busy weekend. But live music always kind of perks you up,
Yes.
Oh, it was so great to finally be back out to a music festival.
I bet.
I was going to one every year when Carolina Rebellion was going on in Concord, and then it went to Rockingham for Epicenter. They don't pronounce it right. They pronounce it wrong, damn it. Some people were saying Epicenter. It's Epicenter.
Well, epicenter, that's where an earthquake originates. It's an epicenter.
Well, anyway, I missed that one, and now it's back. We're back.
Very cool.
Blue Ridge.
Glad y'all had a great time.
Yeah, I'm a member of that fan page on Facebook, and there were so many complainers. You should have read some of the stuff that was going on.
I didn't want to because I was honestly that was my first camping experience, and it was my first festival experience.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, from the moment he dropped the bomb on me that we were doing this thing, I was dreading it. And I'm not even like afraid to like admit that. I was truly dreading it. I'm like, can something happen? Can anything happen to stop this from happening? Because I'm not like emotionally prepared for this thing. And then it came. And
it wasn't that bad.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
And that's the irony of it was like I didn't want to leave. I was having such a great time.
Yeah.
The camping aspects, let me tell you, I said this like 1,000 times. I'll say it again. He did such a good job setting up our little camper for me.
Aw.
He really did. Thank you.
I'm anxious to use it again. Oh, yeah.
I know. I'm like, next stop, OBX. We're camping on the beach.
Now she's an avid camper. I think she's
look what he's done. I was joking with my coworkers this morning because they knew how fucking dramatic I've been about this thing, how uncertain I was, how scared I was, how hesitant I was. And then I came back, everyone's like, well, and I'm like, I loved it.
That's awesome. Trying new things, right? You never know how it's going to turn out.
Right. I am happy to eat my words on this one.
Ready for next year, right? Heck yeah.
Beach.
Outer Banks, she said is calling, right?
Beach.
Oh, y'all have had this conversation already.
I just heard her say it.
Michael, it's just she listens to me when I say I want to go to the beach.
Oh, you just jumped in that one, huh?
I did. You know what? Let's move on with the show here.
Quick.
Enough about our weekend.
Cheers.
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 Another episode of Hammered. Another guest getting hammered. Here we go.
Oh, she's got a shorter drive home than most of our guests.
Yeah, really, right? Yeah, you're only like maybe 15 miles on the hop, right?
Yeah, something
About
like
it. So, hey, Tammy, let's talk about you.
Yeah,
So, for the people out there that don't know who you are, go ahead, give them a quick rundown of what you do.
So I live up in Wake Forest and sing in 3 different bands now. Kind of got my roots back in Chicago, which is where I'm from. I've been living in the Raleigh area for about 15 years. So jokingly, I say I'm a born-again Southerner. First couple years, I said I can't go back to Chicago and say y'all, and well, I still don't do Mike could, but
oh God, I do Mike could.
But y'all is just regular terminology, and everyone in Chicago now thinks I have an accent, so I just embrace it and love it. And this is such a beautiful area with oceans and mountains close by, so much to do, great people, down to earth. It takes a little while to adapt, as anyone would. Or as anyone would be, moving to a new place. But I love it, fully embrace it. So from Chicago, live here now, sing in 3 bands. I also have a small recruiting company of my own, and I'm a yoga teacher. So I do.
All right. So
oh my God, so what don't you do?
All right. Well, before we touch on all of that stuff,
Yeah.
what's the one country word that when you hear it being said in like a conversation, you're like, whoa, and you just want to start laughing? Is there one? Mine is a while ago.
While ago. Oh, see, I didn't even know that
It's
one.
like a while ago, but it's walla. Like pigs walla in the mud.
Yeah.
While ago.
That one's new to me, so that might be my new one. But before that, it was Mike could.
I am ashamed to say that in my 5 years of living in Raleigh, I've picked up we might could.
Okay. So you
I do
both
do that a lot.
need to go out east.
Oh,
You
yeah.
need to go to eastern North Carolina
Yeah.
because out there is a whole different language.
I lived in Greenville
Like-
for a year and a half, and that was enough.
So how about jont to? Yont to?
Want to? See, I
Yeah,
almost
but
had to
it's like
ask for
chunk.
clarification on
Yeah.
that first one there. So,
It's like a while ago, jont to.
don't to. Like, do you want to? Do you want to?
While ago. I already said a while ago, didn't I? Yeah, I did.
2 or 3 times.
2
now.
or 3 times already. God damn. I grew up with all these phrases and words, and I done forgot them all, thank God.
It's worth repeating when it's a
Well,
good
you
one.
done forgot them all is probably.
Done
I
forgot.
done forgot 'em all.
There you go.
I think you just redeemed yourself a little bit.
There we
I
go.
think he done did it.
So I used to travel for work, and
Yeah.
it would send me to Chicago
Yeah.
often. I would go into inner city Chicago, and that would kind of be how I ended my day because that's just how the traffic patterns worked out. But I had several coworkers in the Chicago area who always had so much to say about my accent, and I'm like, my whole life I was mistaken for not being from the South.
Oh, wow.
And I think that just comes with kind of living in like Northern Virginia. The North and the South kind of bleed into each other there.
Sure.
And then my dad spent half his life in Rochester, New York, and then spent the other half of his life in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Oh, my goodness.
So
Yeah.
they canceled each other out. So it was always like really baffling to me to have it brought to my attention that I had a Southern accent, and I never really caught it until y'all. But I'd said y'all my whole life.
Right.
So going to the Midwest was very enlightening
Yeah.
because my whole life I did not think I sounded Southern.
So I got to tell you, Chicago is a great city. It's getting a bad rap right now. I just went to visit about a month ago and saw some family and some friends and had a fabulous time. A couple people cautioned me about going into the city, and I said, are you serious? And I'm not one that watches the news. I just don't. I don't do a lot of TV. I don't watch the news. So I'm a little oblivious that way. It's just how I like it. And so they cautioned me about going into the city, and I said, are you kidding? That's, I'm taking my kids in, and that's just a great experience for them. They love it. I love it. Went to a couple Cubs games to meet up with some old high school friends. Hadn't been back in probably 3-4 years. So we had a great time, and I went against that, I guess, advice.
Caution,
Yeah.
the warning.
Yeah. And I went, and we had a great time. I know it's a little crazier today than it's been before. I used to say, look, they're just areas that normal tourists and people who live here wouldn't go into. We wouldn't, be in those areas. But now it's gotten a little more random. But it is a great city. Just don't want to go during the winter.
I know.
Very happy in the south.
Yes.
Well, we were talking to somebody at the Blue Ridge Rock Festival, and we were talking about Chicago.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the murder rate.
Right.
It's like 40 a day or something like that. I thought that was like 40 an hour.
I don't think it's worse than Baltimore.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's up there in the top 2 or 3 right now. And again, you're talking to a girl who doesn't watch the news or pay much attention, so I get this secondhand information.
Yeah, I think you made a good move by getting out of there.
2 years ago, 2 years ago, I traveled up to Chicago for work, and it just happened to be the week of my birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm every time I come to this area, I spend approximately 3 hours in Chicago, and then I get the fuck out just because my schedule is so tight.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see more. I wanted to do more. I'm like, what an awesome city. One of my favorite skylines.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I booked a room in downtown Chicago, and I took myself to the Sheds Aquarium.
Nice.
And then I went to the Chicago Diner.
Okay.
Vegan since 1981.
Okay.
And it was amazing. It was such a good time, and I got to see so much more of Chicago. At no point did I feel threatened or unsure. And I'm a young female who just, at that point was just used to being alone in unfamiliar territory. But I'm so glad I did that, and I miss it a lot. I miss all my coworkers up there. Big shout out to you guys. Love you. I'll be back.
Never, not going back. You're stuck.
I was going to say, I lived there my whole life, majority of it. And, I had never been to the Blues Fest, which Chicago's known for the blues. And they've got some great places that play blues, well known. And I went to Blues Fest 2019, had a fantastic time with a couple of Raleigh friends that had Chicago roots as well. We had a blast and kind of set up a yearly thing, and then of course 2020 hit and we weren't able to go, and I don't think it's come back yet, but love the blues, love that about Chicago, and that's really where I got my roots musically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, let's talk about your music. So you're in 3 bands.
Yeah.
So you're in one called Faster Than Boys.
Right.
The Traveling Gypsies. And Tiger Lily Acoustic.
Yeah, Tiger Lily, yeah.
Now tell us about those. Which one was first? How did they all come about? What genre are these bands?
Sure. So I might be jumping back a little bit. Years and years ago, I was a full-time musician in Chicago, singer. And sang in one of my very first bands was called Camouflage Guru. And it was heavy female, kind of lesser known at the time, Republica, Poe, Elastica. Of course, Alanis Morissette, Gwen Stefani, that sort of stuff. Loved it. And then kind of jumped into another band called Slip Mickey. Y'all know Jay Rusnick. I'm here. Shout out to Jay. He and I played together. He was the founding guitarist with Love Tribe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And he and I played in a band back in Chicago called Slip Mickey. So, yeah, we recently showed some pictures and some paraphernalia, paraphernalia is not a good word there. That's not what we shared. We shared some promotional material of gigs that we had played. But so that kind of did that full time, and then kind of stepped into the arena here in Raleigh maybe 4 years ago. Played with the band Radio Star for a couple years, and then jumped out and came back in really during COVID when my business kind of slowed up. Mm-hmm. And the first band that came along was Traveling Gypsies. And we play everything from rock, pop, blues, country, male, female, it doesn't matter. And my theory has been largely, look, if I don't know something, I love being introduced to something new because how would I know it unless being introduced by somebody else or if I hadn't already known it? So I was kind of a glutton for punishment that way, where I would try just about anything. And I love that. I'm really getting into blues now and jazz and stuff. But that band, we just play everything. And,
Okay.
The cool thing about that band, Traveling Gypsies, is we've got a new drummer coming. And so our next gig is the 25th of this month.
September 25th.
Yeah, and we play Sophie's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're
And
very
Carrie.
familiar with Sophie.
Yeah, we know old Desi.
Desi is wonderful.
Yeah.
So we play there then, and with our new drummer, and that's going to be an exciting adventure. He also sings, so there's going to be a lot more harmonies and a lot more multiple dynamics, which in the past, up until recently, I've sung every song. So I am ecstatic to have someone else kind of share the reins there.
Oh, yeah, save
Give
your
me
voice a
break.
little bit.
Yes, sir. So did I just say sir? I don't usually do that. I guess
You
I am
did. I know
Southern.
it's all the gray in this beard over here. I know it's warranting that senior respect.
As long as I don't call you ma'am, we're good.
Yeah.
I'm
feel
still
like-
getting used to that when people say ma'am.
People equate that to being like an age thing. I was raised, sir and ma'am was a respect thing.
Yes, I do
Yeah.
know that. I do know that. I just play.
I tell little kids, yes, ma'am.
There you
no,
go.
sir.
There you go. But yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I hate being called sir. Unless it's by like someone that's 20 and below. But when people in their 30s and late 20s start calling me sir, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Did I really look that
right.
old? Oh my God.
Right.
Don't you even
Okay.
answer that.
Well, I don't,
No.
because I call you sir. It might be in jest on some occasions, but
Well,
it's
you've called
not
me
like,
daddy.
That's another conversation. Sure.
All right, I digress. Where were we? Traveling
Oh my
Gypsies.
God. You know what? Fine. I'm just going to
Yeah.
let young kids help you walk across the street there, Grandpa.
Traveling Gypsies was is one of the bands. Faster Than Boys you asked about.
Yeah, Faster Than Boys.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
on track.
So are Traveling Gypsies and Faster Than Boys, is that kind of like the same genre or something different?
Yeah, it's something different. There's some crossover for sure, but really Faster Than Boys got started as an 80s rock female-driven. So that's the whole gist of it when they say Faster Than Boys. I mean, I did a lot of, I sing Pat Benatar, Alanis Morissette, 80s, 90s rock, who was it? Chrissy Hines from Pretenders and, Blondie and you name it. And then we sprinkle in a bunch of party just tunes, upbeat party tunes. So the two other guys sing. The bass player is a phenomenal bass player. And I probably didn't speak enough about Gypsies. Very, very talented musicians. I'm very fortunate on both sides to work with these gentlemen. And people often ask about Faster Than Boys. Is it all girls? It is not all women. It's just me, and I'm fortunate to be with a couple guys. But Brian is the guitarist, Brian Faulkner, and he sings, as does Frank Pierre, who's the drummer in Faster Than Boys. So they both sing and harmonize. So we've got 3-part harmonies in that. I get a little break, and they sprinkle in all sorts of stuff. But it's female-driven music, and it's an expansion thereof, after that. But again, it's a rock, pop, country, blues, alternative. It's all of that. Kind of started with the 80s rock stuff because I know a lot of it.
Yeah.
And prior bands, I did a lot of 80s, 90s rock.
So do you just cover like female artists?
No.
Okay.
No, I cover everything.
Okay.
I sing a little Stevie Ray Vaughan. I sing, of course, you can't think of it on the spot, All the Small Things by Blink-182. I sing, play that funky music. We also play Bon Jovi and...
Do you play any Queen?
We don't do Queen.
Nobody plays Queen, but that's one that you got.
Well, yeah, you have to really know what you're doing to cover Queen, and not everyone is able.
Yeah, not everybody's ready for that.
Little Freddie Mercury is hard to top there. Hard to hang with.
My favorite band, that's why I asked.
Ah,
Well,
there you
probably
go.
top 3. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so we have a great time. Both bands, we just go out there, put a big smile on our face. We're just playing locally all over. We're getting into more private parties and stuff lately. But sometimes I book us like crazy. And then between Tiger Lily Acoustic, so I just had a gig this Sunday with Tiger Lily, and coming up, actually, first gig with Faster Than Boys this weekend, I should say. Friday, I'm with Tiger Lily, the 2-piece acoustic, and I've got an opportunity to do with a 3-piece there, which I might be doing a big festival as a 3-piece. And that is, where am I playing? Shoot. Playing at Abbey Road Pub in Apex from 5 to 8 Friday. So that's the right after work, come have a drink, come hang out with your buddies, and let's get it done. And then Saturday is playing at Sophie's with Faster Than Boys this time. So it just happened to line up where, a back-to-back weekends.
How many times a week are you playing with, like, all your bands?
So sometimes, crazy. I know, sometimes I play, I'm out there 8-10 times a month, like every weekend. Like this weekend was the first weekend of the month. I mean, I jammed myself pretty hard June, July, August. And September, I took this weekend off because I'm with my kids, I work, and then I'm singing. Mm-hmm. So I realized I really don't have a whole lot of social time. So this weekend I took off and I had a great time. I just gigged on Sunday. And Tiger Lily is with a gentleman, David Blount, that plays with me, and we, lots of harmonies, really tight thirds and fifths. I do a lot of harmonies on whatever he sings. I'm really good with harmonies. I can kind of put it on anything on the fly if I remotely know the song. So we do a lot of, and I'll ride through the verse, the chorus, whatever, and then we do have the option with a percussionist as well, or drummer as well. But we do a lot of more. We do some Fridays and some Sundays. I try to avoid Saturdays with the acoustic, and some weekday stuff as well.
So.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
So when do you find time to like teach yoga, or practice it yourself?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point. Mm-hmm. So I teach yoga online.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've been through Yoga Unlimited. Shout out to Stacy Smith, who's an absolute just goddess and a warrior. Just love her to death. So Stacy Smith, you know that. She's wonderful. She got me my certifications and did, during, again, COVID, when times were kind of slow, I'm like, all right, my business tanked. Nothing's going on. So I did online training to be a yoga teacher. And then when I did that, I decided recently, what the heck, I'd go get 2 more certifications, and one was in yoga sculpt, yoga with weights, and the other is yoga Pilates, which is yoga and Pilates fusion. So certified in all that, and I teach online for her, and then starting up my own platform soon on Zoom, online. So the way I do it is online, because that's really how I learned. I think it's great for those people who are maybe a little gun shy to get out there and do it live. I loved Boho Beautiful, this cute hot little 30-year-old blonde girl. I used to joke that I'm the older version of her out there.
You know why I would love it online? Because I could cheat.
Yes.
And the instructor's not all up my neck.
Right?
I feel like there's a double-edged sword to that as someone who used to practice yoga fairly heavily. I've kind of dropped out since then. But
yeah.
She met me.
It happens, right?
No.
No, I do want to get back into it. But, I feel like there's 2 sides to that. Obviously the elephant in the room is COVID. That's a lot of heavy, deep breathing in a small space with multiple participants.
Right.
That can be bothersome to some. And also, again, there is like a privacy aspect to that as well. It can be very, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess off-putting when you're in a room full of strangers. And
sure.
You're trying to...
You're stretching.
Yes. Like nail all these poses.
Yeah.
Not everyone is on the same fitness level.
Sure.
Some people are like really struggling to keep it together in downward dog. And not other people are just like, oh, this is what I warm up to.
Right.
My concern is like... I did not truly feel like I was getting the most of my practice until I went to a classroom and I had an instructor really tell me what I could be doing better to make the most of the position, the movement, my breathing, and the practice. So I feel like, again, gives and takes for sure. So you kind of doing this virtual instruction.
Yeah.
How do you keep tabs of that?
So that's a great question, and that's a great point. And everybody's got their own preference, I'm sure. I learned largely online because it was convenient, and I found someone who I love to follow, and I was naturally a little athletic and flexible, so and I was big into high intensity training or working out. Some of that's given a little bit in these days where I'm booking myself more, or my business is picked up. But you just kind of ebb and flow with those things. But I think the beautiful thing on the plus side for teaching online is that you have that privacy where you're not worried about other people's perceptions or how good or bad you're doing. And I will say on that note, yoga is for anybody and anybody. So literally trying to differentiate there. Any body type can do yoga.
It's fitness level.
Any fitness level. And then any guy, girl, whoever. Doesn't matter. There's several different variations that you can do. You do what's within your practice. And I think I like online because it's role modeled. Oftentimes, believe it or not, when you're in a live class, the teacher sits and instructs it, and she can give you that hands-on assist, which is nice, but she's typically saying, okay, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog, chaturanga dandasana. So she runs you through the poses. However, she oftentimes is not doing the poses herself. And I'll do a little bit of that with video, but I like to demonstrate the poses on the video so you can see exactly what it is while I'm talking. And sometimes I'll record over myself after I show the poses as well. I like that. And you are still getting all the instruction. Okay, twist your arm to the right or whatever it is. Make sure and tuck under the tailbone and raise your neck. So you get those little finite details, and you get the actual person doing that you can watch and follow in the privacy of your own home. And for all those people that work or who have kids or whatnot, isn't it great to be able to just do it in your time frame and not have to? Sometimes you'll lose, half an hour getting to somewhere, getting ready, waiting, getting back. So it's all about the convenience factor as well. And it just fit well into my life, and that's a form that I really enjoy. I'm not opposed to in person, but I do like the online.
No pun intended, right?
Yeah.
Not opposed.
There you go. Not opposed. There you go. He comes through.
So I'm curious. So how does this work? Running a class online? Are you mainly through Facebook, or do you have a website where people can subscribe? And is that like you charge per class, or is it like monthly? How does that work?
Yeah, so that's a great point. So up until recently, I've been through and I'll plug her because she's fantastic. YogaUnlimitedNC.com. And that's Stacy Smith. That was the beautiful, wonderful Stacy Smith that I learned through. And I've classes for her. Labor Day weekend, I said, look, I'm probably going to go on my own platform. And she said, I want you to still do some teaching for me. So we're going to figure that out, but I'll probably launch my own platform as well. And typically there is a drop-in rate as well as a monthly, just depending on what works best for each individual.
Okay.
So look out for me on my own page, Facebook page, Tami Ericson Rimkus. And Tami is Tami.
I cannot wait for us to do this class together. I had been saying for so long, we have to stretch. We have to stretch.
Yeah.
I stay pretty consistent in my cardio, but obviously, like I said earlier, I have not been quite as consistent in my yoga practice, let alone just stretching after a workout. And that's so vital to your muscle recovery. So I have said on multiple occasions, let's try yoga. Let's do some yoga together. For God's sake, can we please just stretch our goddamn calves? And we barely ever even achieve that. So I'm just here to tell you to tell us when to join a class so I can hold everybody accountable here.
Well, so this is no lie. This table that we are in behind right now has more flexibility than me. There was a time where I could bend over, standing up, and touch my head on my knees.
Yeah.
And I was like trying that the other day, and I was like, oh my God, I couldn't even come close.
So
like it was so bad.
Just like anything in life, the more you do it, the better you become at it.
Yeah.
And that's why they say yoga is for anybody and anybody. You know, so it's really about putting one foot in front of the other, and then just with your, you know, as you continue doing it, next thing you go, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could do a crow. You know, I didn't know I could do wheel. You know, whatever it is. Pretty cool stuff.
Not like weightlifting where, you know you've done it right if you leave sore. If you leave yoga sore, you've done something probably improperly. So it's you move at your own pace, and there is no shame in that.
Right.
And it's not a competition. And I think I think that mental barrier for
Everything
him,
is a competition.
Yes, straight from the horse's mouth. Like you have to remove yourself from that mentality. If you want to be better, you have to work at it. It's not going to happen in your first practice.
So I came. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Save your point.
Yeah.
But to get on her point, she just made. Yeah. So I grew up real competitive, and I had the mentality that if you're going to do something, you be the best at it. And
sure.
Of course. I've never been like the best at anything I've ever done, but you got to have that mentality. So like when I'm in a yoga class, I don't like being like the worst person there, which every time I go into a yoga class, I am literally the worst person there. So I went to a yoga class at LA Fitness a few years back.
Sure.
It was me and this other meathead. At the time, all we did was lift weights and grunt and, throw weights. And we go in there and we're like, okay, we're going to give this a shot. So we got at the very back line. And we're trying to do these poses, and all you hear is like, oh. And then the instructor comes back there, and she gives us these, like, foam bricks. And she's like, okay, you use this one right here to help this stretch. And so I got the bricks. So there's enough bricks.
Sure.
There's enough bricks back there to build a foam house. I had them all. One hand was on two. I had one back here. It was so bad.
Sure.
But yeah, that's my yoga story, Tammy.
No,
you go right ahead.
That's a good one. That's what people do. And I think that you see more men getting into it recently. They really have been in the last number of years, because especially sports athletes or anyone who's physically doing anything, or tight in your calves, or tight like you said, Laura. Or, thighs seem to be a big one for the guys, hamstrings, sometimes the arm, chest. So a lot of people like yin yoga, which is staying in a position and just letting the muscle relax and kind of falling into that for a little bit. It's hard to hold that pose for a while sometimes, but there's so many great recovery benefits and flexibility, and really the, origins of yoga, my understanding is really spinal care health. And when that's in alignment, everything else kind of naturally, the organs and stuff go in their allotted spaces when your spinal care is taken care of. So there's so many health benefits to yoga, and so many offshoots like meditation and stuff that are just fabulous, and yoga nidras and all that sort of stuff. So which is like a meditation.
She's made me so excited to do yoga again. Now I'm just like, oh my God, yes, I can't wait to do this again.
Starting back tomorrow?
Yes.
It just kind of centers you, for your day, and it just kind of, and at the end of the day, it just kind of makes things all right again. So it's peaceful. It's good stuff.
I would like to, when I was in middle school, weirdly, I think was when I was the most invested into my practice, and that was obviously 100 years ago. But I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing my yoga, and that's I hated when I missed that.
Yeah.
And then, my schedule changed. Then I was doing it mostly before bed, more as like a wind down.
Sure.
And then it kind of became, just whenever I knew my body needed something that I wasn't giving it.
Yeah.
I just did my practice, and then, you grow up, you get busy, you start chasing the money, and then you meet this guy who takes up all your free time.
Takes you to beautiful concerts,
He did.
Oh my God, taking her to so many things.
You really have, though. Absolutely no games there.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah,
what's your thoughts on hot yoga?
On hot yoga? Okay, so I don't do hot yoga.
Why is that why do yoga instructors, or I don't know, I guess it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Some will say, oh, it's so much better than regular yoga. What's the health benefit to it?
I don't know. I know you sweat a whole lot more. So anytime you sweat, you're getting rid of toxins in your body, right? So that's the theory. I think I just fell in love with vinyasa flow, which is, putting movement to asanas, which are poses, sometimes with music, sometimes without. And you just become a little more flexible, breathing into each of those poses a little bit more, reaching a little deeper the next time you go through a series. And I just kind of fell in love with that. And then my offshoots for me, so I think it's personal preference instead of the hot yoga. And to be honest, I haven't done hot yoga. I'm going to one of these days. But I had such a love for that. And then my offshoots were the yoga with weights, because I was already doing, some high intensity training with like light weights and stuff. And then the yoga Lattes, which I love Pilates as well, kind of piqued my interest.
Yoga Lattes.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
I think, sorry, quick interjection.
Yeah.
I think the hot yoga, to reiterate what you had mentioned about.
Is that a country word? Reiterate?
Could be.
Oh no.
I'm not editing this out. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
To echo what Tami had mentioned
she
earlier.
gave up on the word reiterate.
Okay, at least I'm not like you, where I just keep using the word incorrectly.
Well,
foliage.
I think we should now make that a hammered word. Reiterate.
Reiterate.
To echo what Tami said earlier,
Yeah.
hot yoga, your pores open up, you're releasing more, you release the toxins, all that good stuff. But the warmth also, I think, is very good for your joints and muscles as well.
For sure.
So I think based on my experience, regular ass yoga to hot yoga is, I found I was loosening up much quicker
with the
into
hot yoga
practice.
I hear that as well. I hear people say when the heat is there, your body just naturally kind of releases whatever tensions it's holding, and therefore the poses are a little easier, quicker. Yeah, I have heard that. I just don't know if I want to sweat that hard for that purpose.
I hate sweating, so that was my first and last hot yoga experience, because I left.
I feel you.
So sweaty, and like I had plans after that, thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna go to yoga, and then I'm gonna go get brunch with my girlfriends, and then I'm like come out looking like a drowned fucking rat, and I'm like, sorry girls, I gotta bail.
I say that, but just like you, just trying the camping for the first time. Watch me try hot yoga and be like, I'm all in, You never know till you try, right? She's gonna
dread it till she does it. Then she's like, that was amazing.
You know what I want to try, but I'm just terrified of it.
What is it?
A cold bath, an ice bath.
Oh, there you go.
I really want to do it. But
must be good health benefits to that.
Like if you touch me while I'm shirtless with a can of cold whatever,
jumping,
I'm like, I'm ready to fight.
I touch him with my cold corpse-like fingers. He starts swinging.
Something tells me he'd be all right after a while.
I'm thinking like if I sat in a tub of water.
Yeah.
That was kind of warm, and then you just dumped ice in there.
Yeah,
as your body slowly regulates with the temperature. I think then I would be fine.
That's cheating.
So no polar bear diving, or what do they call it? The polar bear club?
The polar bear plunge.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Make sure you put polar bear on the front of that, because I think there's another bear club I don't want to be in.
There you go.
Oh my God. Anyway.
I don't know that one.
Oh, yeah, well.
I'm just rolling.
Well, yeah.
Most recent yoga endeavor is on my paddleboard. I did a full sequence, I'm proud to say, on my paddleboard very recently.
Videos or it didn't happen?
Well, I could get a video if someone could come out there with me with the paddleboard I bought him.
Wow, I did set myself up for that one. I'm just going to shut up over here. Laura, the show's yours from now.
Thank you. About time. So that was something I was super proud of, because I was very uncertain of my balance.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a whole different thing on a paddleboard, because you don't have the stable ground underneath you.
I was
the waves.
Calling muscles into action.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't realize I had.
It's a beautiful thing, right?
It was It was very cool. It was very cool to have completed that sequence and not have just absolutely nosedived. I have never taken a spill on my paddleboard.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Neither have I.
Very cool.
I was pushed off by a ghost one time.
I have
It happens, I hear.
a picture of before the ghost push where you were falling off of your paddleboard.
No, that was a very infamous picture.
It's a great picture. It came up on my memories recently.
That needs to be
Oh,
deleted.
you'll have to share that with me later, Laura.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. Well, he honestly would have done a really amazing job, but he didn't inflate the board properly.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it wasn't that
So
hard.
all 2 times that he's been on the paddleboard, he has not inflated it properly and then gotten mad that he's falling. And I'm checking it, I'm looking at it. I'm like, please, let's go back up to shore. Please let me inflate this for you. He's like, no, it's fine. And then he gets mad when he falls, and then he never comes out on the paddleboard again.
There you go.
Well, have you ever pumped up a paddleboard with a hand pump?
No, I haven't seen these inflatable paddleboards.
Lucky
It's pretty,
you.
Yeah.
It is a
Muscles.
task.
His defense, right?
Jesus, what do you
The
got 'em
muscles
for?
have nothing to do. I don't care how strong you are. You can only pump a air pump, but so many times it's like whether I can bench press 400 pounds or 120 pounds. You still pump at the same rate.
I do
The same
it-
amount of airflow goes inside the paddleboard.
I do it every week.
It's exhausting.
It's good
Give me-
exercise. Good exercise. I'm a big believer, and I love outdoor exercise as well. So hiking, biking, anything like that just
I
kind of
do
puts
love
the sun on your
hiking.
face while you're getting a good sweat. So,
Yeah. Vitamin D. I mean, vitamin D is
Sounds
like
like a
crucial
good-
these days.
It
My
absolutely
new hiking
is, right?
buddy and paddleboard buddy. We're gonna go do paddleboard yoga together.
There
You know
go.
what? Every guest that comes up here,
Wants to do this shit. that she won't do.
y'all want to do something together. Y'all are new best friends, and it never happens. So, will Tami be the first?
Hit me up, girl. We'll figure something out. Or we'll do, yoga for sure. Absolutely. We'll figure it out.
Well, he's got to do the yoga. He has to do
Yeah,
it
I need to do it.
for his own physical health and well-being. I think it'll be a game
Yeah.
changer for you.
I'll break out the Wii yoga. I used to do it back in the day.
You did. There you go.
Yeah. Well, there's this one. It's I don't know if you're familiar with wrestling, but Diamond Dallas Page has this yoga program, DDP yoga, and it's supposed to be really good. Like everybody highly praises it because it's not. It's a man in his 50s teaching yoga that used to be a professional wrestler.
Wow.
So they're like, damn, if this dude can
Right.
stretch his leg like that, then
Well, I think
what's
that
my
does
excuse?
wonderful things for removing the stigma that yoga is feminine, that yoga is only for a specific body type, that yoga is only for certain people.
Yeah.
All right. Have y'all seen Ashtanga yoga? So
I have
there are some pretty. Go back, and of course I'm going to butcher right now who the different founders are, because my brain is blank. But I mean, some of them are so ridiculously flexible. I'm talking guys, girls, everything, and just you don't think the human body can do that, and they're just amazing. But Ashtanga, it's very. Vinyasa flow is a little bit more loose, and you flow from one position to the other. You do loose, maybe not be the right word when you see Ashtanga. Ashtanga is kind of like a drill sergeant saying this position, then that position, then this position, and they do it with such ease.
Yes.
It's crazy.
I'm looking at some online right now.
Yeah,
and,
it's crazy.
the primary series kind of looks like stuff I've done before.
If you see the masters at it, it doesn't look human, humanly possible.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's pretty. And of course, I'm butchering it, who it is. And my yoga teacher will be like, Tami, come on.
No, that's okay. You're on the spot. Well, we'll get back to it.
Yeah. No, but, it's important, I think, that whether it's working out, whether it's, yoga, whether it's paddleboarding, whether it's singing in bands, whether it's playing, music in bands, that you have that outlet, that escape from life, that you just let your hair down and just enjoy and have a passion for. I'm fortunate that I get to live out many of my passions right now, and I somehow cram them all in.
All right, so that leads me.
Sorry, I couldn't decide if I wanted to talk about her actual like day job or if I wanted to talk about her kids next.
Well, I want to ask her about this because you've already 3 bands.
Yeah.
Yoga, and
Yeah.
now you've got this chosen talent search. Tell us about
Yeah,
this. What is this?
sure.
Is this your real job or something else on the side?
This is my real job.
Okay.
So I started my own little recruiting firm. I'm a one-person, one-woman show. And so I do a little recruiting. Started in...
What are you recruiting for?
So I started in manufacturing. So really, kind of as a divorced woman who stayed home with kids largely, so covering a little bit of that, Laura, I decided, how can I do this and balance, young kids and stuff at the time? And so I said I need something that I can work 9:30 to 3:30. And then I said, I need, by the way, my kids go to year-round school, so I need a 3-week vacation every 9 weeks when they truck out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when I get that job, I'm all over it. And I ended up in this job in recruiting, and they were doing manufacturing jobs like machine operators, and I had never heard what a press brake operator was, for example.
A what?
Right?
No, a press
brake operator.
brake operator.
Yeah, it's some sort of machinery. Manufacturing machinery. I've learned extrusion and PLCs and HMI and like all sorts of crazy stuff in the manufacturing world. But what I did is I took that and it was temp to hire and contract, and I focused on within a very short time at that company. I said, who handles your management, your executives? And they say, we get a little bit of that, but not much. So I took it, I ran with it, created that niche for this company, for myself really, and for them. They already had some divisions, but I found that I was, doing well for what they weren't used to being in that space as much. And then eventually went out on my own. 2019, started doing well. 2020 hit, bam. So off come then the yoga and the bands come into play.
It went bam for a lot of people.
Yeah, it did for
2020.
all of us.
Included, yes.
You know what? Talk about just raising our glasses to, hey, we're here 2021 and we're past the majority of it. I know there's still a lot in debate and a lot that we're thinking about, but I think we're through the thick of it, So.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a email today that said I have to be vaccinated by November 22nd.
For your job?
For my job. It's mandated. All federal employees are now mandated to get the vaccine.
I don't know if that's even legal,
Well, it is constitutional because for the federal employees, it is because when you join the military, I'm a veteran, I was in the Army.
Oh.
So when you join the military, they put all kinds of shit in you.
Yeah.
You stand in line and they walk down the line and just hit you with like vaccines. Hit you with them. You don't even know what's in them. They're just like, here, you got to have this to get in. So it's the same thing. But I think this vaccine has just been so politicized and people have lied about it on both sides just for their agendas. And that's what's turned a lot of people off. Yeah. If the vaccine would have been backed from the beginning by both parties, it wouldn't be so much pushback, I think. But
so on a separate note, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Which armed force were you in?
I was in the Army.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
How long did you do that?
Pretty close to 5 years.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I've been out for going on 21 years now, so that was a whole different chapter in my life. But
have the utmost respect for you. Absolutely.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that make that choice to join, and for me, it was to escape Eastern North Carolina. Because if I wouldn't have done that, taken that route, I would have just been working in a grocery store up there, or been like anybody else, living in a trailer or working at the mill, and that was not for me. So
no, look at you now, running podcasts and going paddleboarding with Laura.
No, dodging paddleboard.
Jokes. Not even dodging it, just like blatantly ignoring my request.
Yeah, I can't go today. I got to work. Which is true. She asked me to go when I got to work.
It's amazing how much time he can take off until I ask to do something, and then he's like, "Nope, gotta work."
Well, I just took a week's vacation last week. I mean, I can't just hey, can I have a day off to go paddleboarding?
Now, I know what line of work she's in. What do you do, Mike?
I work for the government.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, federal law enforcement.
Keep it that? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
that's what we do here.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll fill you in more
Okay.
on there.
Okay, I hear you.
I've been doing that for over 15 years, and I can retire in 5. And
Nice.
oh, if they would like offer me a early retirement package right now, I
You'd be
think
all
I
over
would
it.
probably be all over it. But podcasting hasn't made me a millionaire yet, so I got to do what I got to do.
There you go.
But hopefully, with guests like you up here to catch off or catch on, and
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's just on that note as well. How cool is it that you do this for musicians, for other people? I'm not sure if it's just music or whatnot, but you give them a platform to speak about what it is that they love, what they're passionate about,
Yeah.
what brings them joy, and typically other people like to hear those stories as well. It's great promotional. It's great fun getting to know you guys and kind of little banter, and I just appreciate you. I appreciate the opportunity. Cool.
Yeah.
We appreciate you being here telling us your stories
Yeah.
and inspiring me to do my yoga again. I can't get off of that. I'm so excited.
Yay.
well, the goal is to interview like most of the local talent in the Triangle.
Yeah.
So that's our main target. We interview all kinds of people,
Okay.
from all walks of life, and we've even had musicians on from other states,
Oh, wow.
But the goal is, the primary target is local musicians. It's like you said, to let them get their name out there and tell
Yeah.
their stories. And sometimes people want to see the band, personally, instead of just going and seeing them play, see what they're really about. So that's what, Hammered does. It gives that opportunity. But what I'm seeing is like sharing the podcast and getting it out. Facebook is like the only way to do it. And unfortunately,
I was timing how long it was going to take until you told the world how angry you were.
I'm very angry right now, Tammy, because
Yeah.
I was posting pictures at
there
the
you go.
Blue Ridge Rock Festival this
right.
weekend, and I looked through my phone, and there was no pictures with any nudity, no nudity from anyone 18 and below. But Facebook blocked me for 3 days because they said I was posting. I went against community standards because it's against community standards to post nude or sexual pictures of anyone below the age of 18. And I'm like, what in the fuck are they talking about?
It's a crowd, right, at a fest. Huh.
First off, I got too much on Facebook
Yeah.
to risk posting a
Right.
nude picture at all of anybody, an 80-year-old woman with her
Yeah.
breasts hanging out or something. I'd never do it. And but the thing about Facebook is, and it's kind of scary,
Yeah.
they can just cut you off.
Yeah.
Like, I believe
That
it
is
was an
scary.
accident, because when I put on Instagram, I took a screenshot of the message they sent me, and a couple of guys messaged me back and were like, dude, they did the same thing to me yesterday. Exact same message. So I wonder if it's like
Was it a glitch?
auto-
a glitch or something.
auto-
Why
Autobot
has
or
it
something.
not been addressed?
Well, that's the thing. I went to file a grievance with them, and every time I clicked submit, it said not available right now.
Oh, that's
So you couldn't even contact
not cool.
Facebook.
that's not cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
the conspiracy.
It makes me wonder if Face Biden had that's what I call Facebook now. Face Biden.
We'll
Never
see.
mind.
We'll see if this podcast gets nixed.
Yeah, if it gets nixed, because YouTube and Facebook are in bed together. But I wonder if they heard me talking, because you know how they monitor your phones. It's the thing. They can turn your phone on and it reads everything, or hears everything you say. I wonder if they heard me talking trash about somebody, and they were like, oh, this dude, we're going to just cut him off for our 3 days and see how he
Michael,
likes that.
You talk trash about our current administration daily.
No, I don't. I love this administration.
I'll tell you what, it's pretty crazy how you look at your phone and you're about to put in a contact, and Facebook starts. You put the first couple letters and it goes, oh, is it possibly Laura May? Is it probably Mike Bird?
No.
And you're just from M-I-K-E, and you put a B and they're like, oh, Mike Bird. And then you start filling in your information. I'm like, wait, I don't give you that information. I don't even have that information yet. I don't know his email. I don't know. But they've got it, because supposedly, I guess, if, you're, I don't know, I guess if you're an iPhone user or something and your contacts are accessible, therefore they've got that huge database that they draw from and pull. That, I just heard that yesterday. I don't know how true that is.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me
Yeah.
at all. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Crazy.
But something that we're talking about right now during this podcast is going to show up on my Facebook feed as an ad.
Well, not today. It's not.
Well, yeah, it won't stop them from putting ads on my Facebook page.
Right.
They just won't let me like or comment or message.
You're going to see either yoga classes or paddle boards on your Facebook.
There you
Yeah.
go. I know.
And just take it as a sign. It's time to come paddleboarding with me.
So
Okay. If I get my toolboxes, remember my toolboxes off the Facebook ad that I bought for $98 from China? I was like, I'm going to take a risk on it.
First of all, here's why that's not fair. You ran that risk of making that purchase knowing for a fact that toolbox will not show up. There's a
You don't know
strong
that.
possibility it will not show up. I bought you a paddleboard. It exists. It showed up to your house.
It's not here anymore. You took it.
Yeah, because you weren't using it.
Well, look, Tam, have you ever been on Facebook and seen something that was too good to be true, like one of their ads?
sure.
And you're like, okay, God, I got to try. So they
Yeah.
had these garage toolboxes, Huskies. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
Husky is like
yeah.
top brand.
Yeah.
And I clicked on it, and it was like $97. I was like,
No way.
hold on a second. I
Right.
know this is fake. I know this is cheap material. It's probably coming from China, but I'm going to risk it. I'm going to take a chance because I fell for one of these one time before. It was Nike's, what's the popular
Shoes.
Nike shoe?
Air Jordans or something?
No. It's another one. I got two pair. My black shoes. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
that's a guy's domain, I think, right? Women are like, talk to us
I
about
love some shoes.
They're
Yes.
usually like $100 a pair, okay?
Okay.
And I saw this catalog on Facebook. I clicked it, and I was like, oh, my God, look at all the different colors. So I ordered like two pair. When I got them back, they were a size small, and they were made out of rubber. They were made out of rubber. I was like, damn, I couldn't tell you where them shoes are now.
And they had a Nike
But-
logo or something on it.
They were made in a sweatshop. You could tell. Straight rubber
that's
shoes.
So
That's
sad.
That is sad. That
Yeah.
is sad. Yikes.
But, hey, anyway, you know what time it is, Laura.
Let me ask you real quick. You went to the Alanis concert, huh?
We did.
Yeah, I was there as well.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
2 weeks
She
ago,
just
right?
Kicks ass.
I feel like that was
yeah.
It's 3 weeks ago.
for some reason time is
Yeah.
moving
It was.
unbelievably fast, but that was like 3 or
And it was the
4
same.
weeks ago.
It was the same week as Rock the Pig, except for it was like a Wednesday, right?
Okay. Oh, yeah, because that was over Labor Day weekend, right?
Yeah,
And then earlier in the week, maybe the week before, I forget.
Yeah.
I feel like it was the week before.
Damn, that.
Yeah, I
It
want to say it was
was
the week
that
before.
long ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oof,
Days just kind of like dwindle away when you're packed and rolling from one concert or one
it's crazy.
thing to the next, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was a great concert. Though.
It was great.
Oh, she
Holy
was great.
shit, she can sing her fucking head off.
She still sounds the same. I mean,
Yes.
and she does the same thing where she just kind of, and it's everyone's got their own style, and it's just her style where she just kind of strolls back and forth, and she plays with the guitarist, and they chase each other,
And then like her hair. She's
blonde. She's a blonde. I know. She's blonde. That's kind of fun. Women like to mix it up. She's probably been blonde for a long time, and we just knew it.
And we just had no idea.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me about her is she's 47,
Yeah.
and she just started her family in her 40s.
She did.
Yeah, like her oldest is 6 or 7.
I thought they were like 10, 7, and
5 or something.
like 3. They're very young kids.
Okay.
I thought she had one that was 2.
Well, she sang something about it's like what's the song with instead of a 2-year-old, she's called it a 5-year-old or something. And I thought
She
that was in
said,
reference
I
to-
think she said a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 2-year-old.
Yeah, she changed the
Oh,
lyrics
she
to the
did.
song.
And then
Which song was that again? I'm trying to remember. Was it
Ironic. Isn't it ironic?
Mm.
I can't think where that plays.
Well, because I heard her do it, and I'm like, oh,
She
let me
had
Google her kids.
So she had a son in 2019.
okay.
So that's the
wow.
2-year-old.
That's
So,
2-year-old.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, can't find out anymore.
I got it.
2, 5,
Okay.
6.
Onyx, Winter,
Aw.
and Ever. Aw.
Cute names. Boys, all boys. She's got
I'm going to say the oldest is 7.
I feel like
752 maybe.
let's find out.
How could she go like her whole life and not have kids, especially in that?
Well, you know what? People are. I think what's happening.
Well,
all right,
she's
you're
a
talking
rock
a
star.
couple women's right, a couple women here, but you know, I think that women are going for their career, and I applaud it completely. And to be accomplished in something first before you start a family, so you're seeing women having and families starting later in life.
And now she's touring though and taking the kids around and
Love it.
You know,
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
yeah, that's good for her. I mean, she still got it.
She
Definitely.
does. She's amazing. She's a big idol of mine, and I would say a big influence in the 90s for sure. to
Were
anyone.
you in the lawn?
No, I
you
had
were, like, up
kick-ass
close.
seats. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was like, I don't know, 10th row or something.
See, we definitely haven't made it because we're just lawn people. But we
Usually
don't
I
have
am.
any connections that can get us up close or anything.
Usually, when I go to a show, I buy seats. This was my first lawn experience. I'm not gonna lie, I was not mad at it. It was fairly comfortable. We put our little blanket down, we relaxed. It was kind of nice.
So usually I'm in the lawn, and it's just a big old party back there, right? And it's fun. And I had bought a lawn ticket, and of course I'm like rolling through, and I'm trying to juggle like yoga with recruiting, with music and kids. So the week of, or like a day before, I'm like, shoot, you know, I just bought a ticket for myself, and am I going to go meet up with any friends? And again, that social side of my life has kind of dwindled as I'm gigging more and with kids. So I reached out to some people, and I'm like, yeah, well, maybe I'll see them there. And then someone goes, who are you going with? I'm like, I'm going with myself. And so he's like, so am I. So we went, and he happened to have closer tickets. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then I gave my ticket to my 16-year-old daughter. Now I'm dating myself here, telling you my age. And bought a ticket for her friend, and they went and did the lawn, and we had the really good seats. But they really didn't know a lawn
That's
as well.
nice. You could just kind of be like, bye.
Yeah, right.
Kids get the lawn, toodles.
But you know what? They still get that influence. So my 16-year-old daughter is into music. She's a singer. She's gonna be like, if she follows her heart and what she does, she'll be writing music, singing. She's definitely in the genes, and she loves doing it. So it was great to just introduce her to more artists that she wouldn't have known as well.
We'll introduce her to your own major musical influences.
So, you know, what's funny, I've done, in fact, this past weekend and this Sunday coming up, I'm playing Bud's Tavern, actually, at Tiger Lily, with Tiger Lily this Sunday from 1:30 to 4:30. So that's an event that the kids could go to. It's outside. There's families, family-friendly. It's inside if it gets too hot. Yeah. But still, families are welcome. There's a porch there. You know, it's just chill, relax in Youngsville. And so I've asked my kids numerous times when I have daytime gigs, hey, you want to come see me? No, Mom, nah.
Wow.
But on the flip side, one time I invited my 16-year-old, who's very musical, and 2 of her friends to come over. And I set up the PA, and I let them sing along with the band. They love the heck out of that. But when it's coming to Mom's shows, you know, not so much. So.
Not so much. Well, Bud's Tavern is a really cool venue, though. You know, there's a lot of outside. You bring your bring your dogs out there, I guess.
Yeah,
and let them run around. But
have you been there?
Oh, we just had
Have
Rock
we
the
been there?
Pig there.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. So we had, I don't know if you knew too much about it. We raised money for a Pause for Life. We raised $2,000, and we had 6 bands come out and play, and
Nice.
it was pretty cool. Big cornhole tournament was there, and can't wait till next year. Next year it's going to be bigger, better.
So we could get at least one of your 3 bands.
I was just going to
out
say,
there.
hit me up. Hit me up.
Absolutely. We got to start booking for that event now.
Yeah, I mean, really, bands from out of state are messaging me on the Rock the Pig Facebook page. Can't respond to them at all, but I mean.
You know, and I'll speak to that point. So oftentimes, like I'll say to some of the local venues, you know, I'm like, look, I'm in the backyard. You know, I can be there if something falls through, like if they're already booked, or you just like, buy local, hire local, you know. Yeah. So if there's a venue close by, and Youngsville, as you know, is right next door to Wake Forest. It's,
Yeah.
stone's throw.
That's what I want to do with this event.
Yeah.
I want it to be like local bands that people are familiar with.
Sure.
But it's for a charity, so the bands are doing it basically just for exposure.
Absolutely.
And I didn't hear nobody complain to me about it. Actually, some of the bands were like, "Oh, we want to do this next year too."
Yeah.
So, and then there's also other bands that want to be added to it. So eventually, this might have to be a two-day ordeal here.
Fun.
It's
just
gonna
make
be
it
a lot of pigs.
I'm not going to lie. When we were at Blue Ridge, and I actually told you a couple of times, I was like, "See that logo, that bear? That's going to be our pig one day."
See, now that's funny.
It's gonna be the little piggy on your hat.
There you go. That's a cute hat. I did notice the hat, and it sounds like a great event that it turned out for you guys. It sounds like it was you raised a lot of money for a good cause.
Gosh, we cooked the pig was like 150 pounds dressed, and it was gone. Like some people didn't even get a chance to eat.
Wow.
So I definitely underestimated it. Next year, we might have to do 2 pigs.
All right. Well, I know some very good roasters who do that, but you probably do as well. But I was going to say, so you're talking to, I'm a pescatarian, so I don't eat meat.
Look at you two, just bonded even more.
Girl, we got to talk.
Vegan.
Okay, you're vegan. She's nth level, big stuff. That's
I've
very
seen
cool.
her eat the fish too, so I mean, she's sort of kind of pescatarian.
Okay, in my defense, I caught it and I took a bite. It was only right. I caught it.
Yeah, that's good. No, but I do vegetarian plus seafood 14 years back, and then started adding seafood in for a little extra just to mix it up, after a while.
Get the omega-3s.
Yeah, but and Carolina, you were saying Eastern Carolina, I mean, known for the barbecue, right? It's the big debate, Eastern Carolina versus Western Carolina.
With that vinegar-based sauce?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and when I first moved here, I did have some of that and some Smithfields with the coleslaw and the white-based. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what we had at Rock the Pig.
Yeah.
Had Smithfield's hush puppies.
Southern fare.
Yeehaw, let's do it. Speaking of let's doing it, it's time for Hammered Trivia.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about this. Here we
You
go.
didn't know about this? So we've been slacking lately. I don't think we've had a trivia the past 2 episodes because it's just, or maybe 3.
The last episode was on site at Blue Ridge Rock Festival with the band War.
Oh, cool.
There was the challenge, the biggest challenge was keeping bystanders away from the setup, from our recording studio. We didn't have time to assemble trivia. We didn't have time to do the typical Hammered itinerary. We were just trying to
get the show over with.
Get the show
at that point
done, get these guys back to where they needed to be because they had another interview and then they were going to support their other friend musicians. And it was it was like herding cats that were all
drunken
on fire.
Cats.
Drunken cats.
And they were on fire and they were on crack and it was a whole ordeal. So we flat out did not have time.
Okay, you explained it great.
All right, now
no
I'm
Hammered
terrified.
Trivia.
What's the
past 3 episodes?
Oh yeah. And you're going to start now?
I was just trying to justify the reason
definitely
for not having
you
it.
explained it great. I think everybody
I'll just shut
understands.
the fuck up.
Then you would lose trivia. You have to have answers.
Yeah, I don't know how well I'm going to do here.
So here's how this works. Every guest that comes on the show goes up against Laura because she's the studio genius here in a 6-question quiz.
So I just grabbed my cell phone to cheat. Does that work?
Oh, you cannot cheat.
And you know how honest I am there. I just went and said I did it.
Right. Okay, so today's trivia is going to be on female artists.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready? And you go first since you're our guest.
Okay.
Her first band was a Big Brother and the Holding Company. She loved the blues. She had a voice like no one else, and she never held back. Sadly, she loved to drink and use drugs too, and that was the cause of her death at the age of 27. Who was this Texas-born legend?
Janice Joplin.
Oh my gosh, she didn't even need the
Sorry.
The multiple choice.
Should I not jump in on that?
No,
you can.
Very impressed.
Okay.
It's extra points that don't matter when you don't need the multiple choice.
Okay.
That was impressive.
The extra
so
points
you're up
are
1-0.
like the paddleboard that I bought Michael.
I'm going to have to add a rim shot to my soundboard. She's
Funny.
got it. All right, Laura, here we go. Let's see if this is funny when you get this wrong. It's coming. I can feel it. That's what she said? Oh, my God. And I need to add that into the show, too. All right. She first became known as the lead singer for a new wave band called Blondie. Soon, she was a rock icon, a poster girl for the 70s. Who was this rock and roll Hall of Famer? Debbie Harry, Debbie Boone, Debbie Gibson, or Debbie Wally?
Well, I was thinking something completely different. I don't know any of these Debbies.
Oh, no.
Can we steal it?
No.
Oh, is there a guess coming on this one?
Okay, who are the Debbies again?
Debbie Harry, Debbie Boone, Debbie Gibson, Debbie Wally.
Debbie Gibson.
Oh, my God. She picked the one that was the
Debbie
obvious.
Harry. Debbie Harry.
Wow, you picked the one that was the obvious wrong answer.
Why?
Because Debbie Gibson started music in the 90s,
I don't
or
know
late
who
80s.
Debbie Gibson is.
Electric youth, feel the power, see the.
Some of us were
What?
not yet
I don't
even
know that song either.
conceived.
You don't know that one?
Not that one.
I get lost in your eyes, and I feel my spirits rise.
Next
I
question.
know Debbie
please.
Gibson, but I was
Oh,
went to Tiffany
my.
I was like
Okay, well, her and Tiffany,
Yeah.
they were.
right.
Now they do movies on Sci-Fi Channel together.
Ooh, I got to check it out.
Yeah. Okay, so the good news is you're up 1. Laura's got 0, and now here's your second question.
Okay.
Tami, she formed a songwriting partnership with Jerry Goffin, and they wrote great songs together for many years. She released a solo album called Tapestry in 1971, and it was one of the best-selling albums of all time. Name this Grammy-winning musician.
Carole King.
Jesus Christ. Just to give her the trophy right now. Wow.
No, it just female
Wow.
rock is up my alley. I shouldn't give away what's not. You know?
Oh, wow. I'm impressed. She is steamrolling this quiz.
I have humbly lost Hammer Trivia in the past, but I've never just straight up been obliterated.
Oh,
So
no,
this is-
girl. You've only missed
Ooh.
one. You're coming back. Here we go.
And this one isn't any easier either. All right, Laura, here we go. This English singers, they spelt this wrong. Oh, my God. Whoever wrote this question just did this to fuck my language. Okay. All right. Hold on.
Getting out the readers for this one.
Let's just do this right quick.
There you go.
All right, there we go. This English singer was first hit. Dude. This English singer's first hit was As Tears Go By. I swear to God, that is how it is written, and I will put it in the freaking show so everybody can see it. This English singer's first hit was As Tears Go By. She had a long-term relationship with Mick Jagger in the 60s. Unfortunately, she fell into drug abuse and was even living on the street for a time. She eventually made a successful comeback with her album Broken English. Her voice was unrecognizable, changed completely from years of abuse. Name this singer. Was it Laura Branigan, Maria Muldaur, Nicolette Larson, or Mariana Faithfull?
The second one.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Incorrect. Do you know it?
Was it Laura Branigan?
No, it was Mariana Faithfull.
It's only because I didn't know the others.
Well,
So I'm fessing up.
You know what? Guess what? That is it.
Yeah.
You have won Hammer Trivia.
It's only 2.
Let's go.
You only get 3 apiece, and she's already got 2 of hers wrong.
I'm never
so-
going to catch up.
Yeah.
So
But here's what we're going to do. I just
go
want to
through
see.
the rest of the questions. I want to know
Yeah.
at least one of them.
Okay.
God.
So, even though you are the champion, Tami, let's see if you can
Sure.
get this one.
Sure.
This lady was the lead singer for a groundbreaking band called the Jefferson Airplane. She was an influential singer with a powerful vocal style. Name this legendary rocker.
Grace. And not Slick.
You sure?
Yeah, Grace Slick. There you go.
It's Grace
Yeah,
Slick.
there you go.
Wow. Damn. She got Grace, though. Grace is good enough for me. I mean.
You know, you don't overthink it, right? I was like, Grace Slick, no, is that right? Yeah, it's right.
Wow. You really do know your shit about
female rock,
rock.
you know, a big influence of mine. So.
All right, Laura, you just want to try your third one?
Sure.
She was a rarity on the music scene, the leader of a male rock band called the Pretenders. She found success after years of struggle in the first days of New Wave. People loved her edgy and tough attitude. Name this American songwriter, guitarist, and singer. Is it Michelle Phillips, Mary Travers, Chrissie Hynde, or Joan Jett? Ofer. We're getting skunked today, huh?
This
0 for
is
3.
80s rock, though, so it's, you know.
But she has no excuse because that's all she.
80s rock.
Yeah.
That's all he listens to.
Like Megadeth. She was killing it at Megadeth at Blue Ridge Rock Festival. That's all she wanted to see, yeah.
Awesome.
You just give it. You know this one.
I do.
Who is it?
Chrissie Hynde.
That is correct. Wow. These are all tough.
So, like, every question that's been asked so far, I'm like, Joan Jett. Joan Jett.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joan Jett.
But I sing The Pretenders. I sing Chrissie Hynde. I sing, you know, Blondie. I sing Joan Jett.
Yeah,
so-
you know all this
Yeah.
stuff already. It's like in your
It's in my wheelhouse.
yeah, your wheelhouse.
And in all fairness to her,
Repertoire.
you know. Yeah.
I was not yet a concept.
I'm curious to see if she knows this one. This singer began her career with her then partner, Lindsey Buckingham, in a band called Fritz. They struggled together for several years until they were invited to join
Stevie
a
Nicks.
band called... I wanted to see if she knew it because she
I
loved
think-
Stevie
sorry,
Nicks.
I thought she was
Yeah.
asking.
No, that's
Well,
okay.
my bad.
She would have
Stepped
got it
on that.
anyway because
My bad.
the next line was until they were invited to join a band called Fleetwood Mac.
Well,
She'd
that
got
would
it
have been
then.
the dead giveaway.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
my bad. I
No,
didn't
you're
step
good.
on that. Give her another one. She's got.
Just to give her another
Sorry.
one. Just throw her a bone.
Now
Why
Tammy's
don't you,
over there
Michael?
showing off.
Oh no!
She's like, watch this shit. I'm just going to just get them all
I
right.
thought you were saying to me,
Jesus.
my bad, Laura. Lots of love to you, girl.
There we go. Tammy is the champion on this episode's edition of Hammered. Not only is she the champion, but wow, did she handle you in that trivia.
I
We're still
got
going paddleboarding or yoga,
fucking
right?
smoked, yes.
Yeah, Tammy, and you were going to go out paddleboarding, and she's going to wait till y'all get out there deep and take a knife. Remember that time in trivia?
No,
That's
no, come on.
Some of us can handle losing, Michael. I know it ain't you, but I'm.
Why do you think I don't do these trivias? Why do you think I host them and I just...
So, did y'all ever
questions.
see Mark Mcgrath on Jeopardy? They had Music Jeopardy, and he frickin' kicked ass to anyone that came in his space about music. And it was all these famous musicians up there. And, of course,
Mark Mcgrath, lead singer
from
of
the-
Sugar Ray, right?
yeah, Sugar Ray.
Okay.
So he is just a trivia god. I mean, you wouldn't believe the musical knowledge he has. Like genre after genre. It's crazy.
When it's over.
Well, I thought I knew some music trivia, but evidently I do not.
Nah, in all
I
fairness,
mean-
that was, yeah, you know.
That was definitely over.
Well, you know,
It was over.
I listened to,
You got a
know,
voice?
a handful of female musicians, and Pat Benatar is definitely one of them. Heart, Love,
Sure.
obviously Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. But that's really it. I have a very, very small, like, female-led music foundation, and it's just like the three women I was raised listening to.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at it. I think, you know, the Wilson sisters and Pat Benatar and
for sure.
Stevie Nicks are all very amazing role models.
Yeah, they are. I mean, there were so many great. I love that era. Like, in 80s, 90s, and 90s was a really powerful movement back then, where women front singers were huge, like Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries and Sinead O'Connor.
Well, do you have a specific artist that's like an influence to you?
That's a great question. So I would probably say Tiger Lily is actually named after the Natalie Merchant album Tiger Lily.
Oh, okay.
Which was, I believe, and she, I put Tiger Lily all together as one word, Tigerlily, but she did the proper, like, Tiger and I do it for copyright stuff. She did Tiger and Lily, which was from Peter Pan. Remember the Indian princess, Tiger Lily?
Yeah.
I believe that's what that's in reference to. But she was just a huge influence to me, as was, probably before my time, but who doesn't think a classic, gorgeous, gorgeous voice was, of course, Karen Carpenter, beautiful voice. And I didn't really grow up listening to it. It was my parents' music and stuff, but I loved it. And then I loved Ella Fitzgerald kind of growing up, her love song books. So if I were to say any influences, it would be Ella Fitzgerald, Karen Carpenter. It's kind of an odd mix of people. Natalie Merchant. And if I'd probably throw one more in there in the 90s, which would be Alison Moyet from Yaz. Do you remember the Upstairs at Eric's album?
I do not even know who she is. I'm not lying to you.
Go take a listen. She kind of sounds like a man, to be really honest with you. But they're Upstairs at Eric's, and they had a sequel. They only had 2 albums that really did anything. But Upstairs at Eric's was off the charts in sales, and it was Midnight. It was a great midnight train outside. Well, I must be soaking wet. Great stuff.
Give us more. More.
Yeah. Well, so I've really come to love some blues stuff and some jazz I was talking about. There's a Miranda. Do you like country music?
No.
Yes, she does.
Now, I didn't. Okay, here's a little trivia that I didn't know. I actually was hit up by a country record label in my 20s.
Oh, yeah?
And I did not open the doors. Like a foolish girl. From Chicago.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about country music at the time. I really did rock and pop and alternative. And so they wanted me, not my full band. I was extremely loyal and probably intimidated because I really didn't know country music. And
so they wanted you to change your genre and change what you sang.
They gave me the business card. They saw me at a place in Chicago on the north side called Harry's of Arlington Heights, up on the north side of Chicago.
Okay.
They saw me play there with a band called Camouflage Guru. Funny thing is, I played there, and I thought I had laryngitis from gigging so much, because I was a full-time musician then that gigged, every other day back then. And so they saw us, and I was like, guys, I don't know how I'm going to get through the show. And sure enough, by the end of that show, I could sing anything. It was crazy what had happened in the metamorphosis of, I think, just warming up the vocal cords. I think it was confidence in your mindset and what you believe you can do and what you can actually, you can do it if you believe you can. And when you let go and just surrender to it. So sure enough, that show that I didn't think I'd get through and could sing, I ended up, there was a record label that said, I just want to talk with you, not your band. And I was intimidated. I was loyal. I didn't know country music. So I stuck the bag in my, bag, and a week later went looking for it. Do I just kind of entertain this chord? Couldn't find it. They're never going to knock on your door again. And then I always joke as fate would come smack you in the face. I moved to the South and primarily listened to country music. So,
isn't it ironic?
Yeah. Don't you think? But a little too ironic. I really do think. Yeah. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride. Sing along with me. When you've already paid. It's a good advice that you just didn't take.
And who would have thought?
We're singing.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
On that note.
On that note. So Tami.
Pun intended.
Just can't.
I wore y'all out, I'm sure.
So let's go back. Traveling Gypsies is going to be at Sophie's coming up.
Yeah, I'll give you the layout for this weekend.
Yeah,
cool?
Tell us where can we see you guys play, one of your 3 bands.
Yeah.
And tell us where we can hit you up on Facebook. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. Thank you for reiterating that. Appreciate it. So this Friday, Tiger Lily, my 2-piece acoustic, is playing at Abbey Road Pub in Apex from 5 to 8 Friday night, right after work. Come grab a drink, come hang out. Great harmonies back and forth. Male, he sings, I sing, fun stuff. Saturday, play at Sophie's Grill with Faster Than Boys. And Facebook page for Tiger Lily is Tiger Lily Acoustic. Facebook page for Faster Than Boys is Faster Than Boys NC. So we play from 9 to 12 on Saturday at Sophie's Grill and Restaurant in Cary. And then Sunday, I play with Faster Than Boys again at Bud's Tavern in Youngsville from 1:30 to 4:30. So
It's going to be a busy weekend.
yes, that's how I like it. That's
Busy
how I roll.
weekend. Well, look, hey, thanks for coming on the show and
Yeah.
coming out here and visiting us in the Naughty Donkey Studios. We appreciate it very much.
Appreciate you both.
Yeah. Laura, you got any
Fun.
closing words?
No, it was just really nice to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's really nice chatting with y'all. I enjoy it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm Mike. This is Laura. And we're hammered. Not really, but hey, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.
All right.